If you're in some shape or form active on YouTube, which I know you are because you're watching this video, you've seen this guy in your recommended box. Because I know that I have. Why are my videos never in recommended boxes? This way I'll never get to 51 views. So basically, long story short, this guy killed a mountain lion with his bare hands. And he talks as calmly like he's ordering a pizza.
And down there just kind of had a little wrestling match, at which point I was able to get on top of it.
And this whole thing right here feels like an UFC post-fight press conference. I also heard that the mountain lion wanted a rematch at UFC 235. Man, just imagine being a freaking apex predator, expecting an easy prey and then getting killed by a CrossFit jogger. A CrossFit jogger, or is this maybe Choco Willing's long lost son? Long story short, I'm still waiting for this guy to be on the Joe Rogan podcast and the Pew News. And all this of course happened in Canada. And if you scroll down to the comments, you'll have people explaining how big his balls are, how badass he is, and also one explaining how in reality he killed his neighbor's cat and he was just on an acid and meth trip. YouTube comment section, you never disappoint. And sadly you will also find comments about people writing about animal rights activists. And as one of veganism's sane messenger, I need to explain 2 points. Number 1. I would have done the same thing. This was a survival scenario and it really ended badly for both participants. For the mountain lion a lot more though. This guy wasn't searching trouble, and if a mountain lion would have gone into my room right here, you should have just expect for me to defend the shit out of myself. And if you're honest, you would do the same thing, vegan or not. There's a survival mechanism programmed in our brain which just makes us hardwired to defend ourselves and seek our survival. But number 2, we shouldn't then go on the nature fallacy. There's a fallacy called appeal to nature, which explains that just because something is happening in nature, like killing, doesn't mean that it's good. It seems to be sometimes necessary, as we've seen in this video, but this shouldn't mean that we should all fear for our lives when we're going outside. Just because something happens in nature, just because something is natural, doesn't mean that we should do it. Buying meat in the supermarket is not a life or death scenario. We can actively choose which kind of foods that we eat, and we know by studies which nutrition is actually the best for us. So in my opinion, this guy made the right decision. He acted in self-defense. And it really doesn't matter if a member of a different species attacks you. In my opinion, it's always self-defense, and self-defense is justified. You should never look for trouble, in my opinion, but if it comes for you, you should be ready to defend yourself. And that's what this bad boy with his big balls did. So yes, I think he did the right thing, but just because something happens in nature doesn't mean that it's good. And us buying food at the supermarket is not the same system and not the same thing.
If you like this video and want to know more about fitness, nutrition, mindset and health, and how these things can help you get the most out of your life, subscribe to this channel.